Hey everybody, it's Pastor Adam from D1 Naz. I want to have a D1 Naz minute here where we talk about what we talked about on Sunday through the message. And of course, over the last 3 weeks, we have been preaching from the rooted material. We as a church are going through this right now. And we have a lot of groups that are meeting. We have a lot more groups that are going to be starting here in the next few weeks. Last week, we talked about serving and 3 different aspects of serving, which was serving our home, serving our neighborhoods, and serving our church. The goal of the rooted material in serving is, serving is not something we do to check off a box, but rather a lifestyle to adopt. And the goal in prayer is that all people, through rooted, have a life-changing serving experience, one that makes them want to keep serving until it's an integral part of our lives. I think we all know, that we have to serve in some capacity in everything that we are involved in. But what I want to focus on tonight is the attitude by which we serve. By now, anybody has heard that Kobe Bryant died last Sunday in a helicopter crash. And the very next day, on Monday, when all of the tributes began and all of the sporting events all around the world, from NBA games here in America to soccer games across the pond there, everybody was honoring Kobe Bryant. The sports pundits on ESPN on Monday morning rescheduled their entire show to talk about Kobe and his legend. And here's what's so fascinating about what they were talking about on Monday morning as I was listening to the radio as I was running a few errands here in town. They talked about his basketball very little. In fact, even not at all. What they talked about was his kindness. They talked about his devotion to his family, his diligence, how he wanted to pour into the next generation. This is what they talked about, which was very fascinating because Kobe, 5 championships, he had an 81-point game. He had a nickname, the Black Mamba. He had all of these things that they could have talked about in terms of his basketball, but that's not the focus of what they talked about. They talked about the attitude and the persona by which he carried those things out. There was a quote that was said many, many years ago, and I remember hearing it in church, a long time ago, and I hope I get this right. When my time is gone and my days are past, only what's done for Christ will last. So when we get to that day when it's us in the casket, and people are walking by our casket and greeting our family, are they going to sit there and talk about our jobs, how well we performed at our job, an award that we won at our job? What they're going to talk about and what the preacher is going to talk about at our funeral is the attitude by which we served other people. That's what will last. They'll talk about our kindness, how we treated others. They'll talk about our integrity, our prayer life, our devotion to God's word. This is what they'll talk about. And so we put so much attention into certain things that will not last for eternity. When we serve, we must do it with the attitude of Christ serving those that are broken and may not have the possibility of paying us back. So we serve our children. We serve our families with the idea that, they probably can't pay me back, but my job is to serve them with a grateful heart. We serve our neighborhoods with a grateful heart. And by the way, we had 5 people sign up for neighborhood prayer walks from last Sunday. And if you would like to pray in your neighborhood, send me an email at pastoradam@d1naz.com, and we'll put a little pin in your neighborhood. We'll also help train you to get going on your neighborhood prayer walk. We also serve the church. And the church has its irritations. It has its issues. All of us, if asked, we could name a whole bunch of things that we think are wrong with the church. But we still serve the church. And we do it with an attitude of gratefulness. When my time is gone and my days are past, only what's done for Christ will last. How are we serving him, and how are we serving others? Hopefully we're doing it with the attitude of Christ. Thank you for watching this D1 Minute. We'll see you this Sunday, 9 or 11, and go Chiefs.